a time when families come together, and for those families going through a divorce or separation, the holidays can be especially difficult. Joining us this morning to help break this down is Sabrina Cronin with ways couples that are going through a divorce can navigate the holidays and, of course, do as little damage to the family as possible. So what are some of the things that folks need to keep in mind if they're going through a divorce and we're in the middle of the holidays?
Well, divorce is especially difficult during the holidays. It's difficult anyway, but when holidays are impacted, when families are impacted, when children are involved, it's especially difficult. You always have to be reasonable and try to be as amicable as possible, even in the midst of a most, terrible, torrential divorce.
Right. So just focus on, that the holidays, especially Christmas, it's about the kids for the most part.
It should be always about the children. No matter how wronged one parent or party feels, they really need to be as reasonable and as amicable as possible. The children didn't ask for this divorce, and they love both parents, and they should love both parents. And both parents should remember that they didn't ask for the divorce. The parents did, not the children. Don't put the children in the middle.
So how does a divorce impact children, especially around the holidays? Does it change based on their age, how old a child is at the time?
Children are more moldable and adaptable the younger they are. The longer the child or children has had both parents in their lives, the more difficult it is. So someone has to keep in mind that fact, and the parents should never put a child in the middle. The parents should always try to remember that the children's feelings are very valid and very important. And you always want to act toward the other parent as though you're taking the high road. Be kind. Don't always be right or try to do what's right. Make sure the boundaries are clear. The children need to have a routine. They need to have boundaries. The parents need to establish boundaries, but they also need to be kind to one another, because in the end, the children see what you do. They see your actions, and you need to model good behavior for them.
So it's not just what you say. I mean, kids pick up on the unsaid and unspoken as well.
Absolutely. Right? Of course. We all do, but children especially.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the things, let's say that I have a partner, you're going through a separation, and I do feel like this person is not putting the kids first. How do you have that conversation to say, let's focus on the kids?
Well, it's important that both parties try to be as mature as possible and to be as reasonable as possible. The more reasonable you are, the less your attorney bills and fees will be, high. And sometimes they're in the stratosphere because both parties aren't being reasonable. When the other party, no matter how hard you try, isn't being reasonable, or they're isolating the children from you, or they're not abiding by the parenting time schedule, or they're just being nasty, you definitely need attorney intervention, and that's when you need a strong attorney.
All right. Tell us a little bit about, as we wrap up, the name of your firm and how people can get a hold of you if they're going through a divorce and think that they might need some outside help.
Well, Keenan, thank you. My firm is Cronin Law Firm, and the number is 248-258-3500. And the parties just always have to remember, please be kind and forgiving, because your children, you only have one life.
Well, Sabrina Cronin, thank you so much for joining us and talking about a difficult subject during the holidays.